there, this is Joe Robinson, and this video is a lesson for my song Flow. This is a somewhat advanced piece to play. It's definitely not an easy song. It's not a fast piece, so it does sound pleasant and palatable, and sometimes songs like that can be a little bit deceptive because they sound so easy to listen to, but they're actually very tricky to play. So I'm going to break this song down in explicit detail, and I do have the tab below, so do check that out. I should mention that I often play this song with the capo on the 2nd fret, but to keep things as simple as possible for this video, I'm going to teach it to you in the open position, so we're in the key of D major, and if you see me playing it with a capo on the 2nd fret, I'm playing the exact same thing, just up 2 frets. And the reason I do that is I just like the way it sounds in a slightly higher voicing sometimes. There's really no other rhyme or reason than that. But for this lesson, we're in the key of D major. Okay, the intro sounds like this. It's a sweet sounding little 4-bar phrase. So we start off with this D triad up here. So we have open D ringing out. And we have the 11th fret on the G string, then the 10th fret on the 10th fret, and the pinky slides up here to the 14th fret on the high E string. So we're just spelling that chord out. And the first note is actually a harmonic, not an open D, I'm sorry. So it's harmonic, and then 11, 10, and then slide the pinky from 12 to 14 on the high E string, and then slide back down, or just, I'm sorry, play 12, 10, 10, 12, 10, or E, A, D, E, A. Check out the tab, it'll be easy to follow along. So that's really the first chord shape. And then we come down here. So that's really a G triad with that open D ringing out. And we're gonna do a slide with that pinky from the 9th fret to the 10th fret of the high E string. And then 9, 8, 7, 9. And then a little pull off from the 8 to the 7, the G to the F sharp on the B string. So really slowly, the first bar is second bar, once more, even slower. Then we come down here. So there we're playing, again, a G triad, but in a different inversion, with that open D ringing out. So we slide up with the pinky from the 7th fret to the, from the 5th fret to the 7th fret on the high E string. And then we play pretty much the same little phrase. We do a little slide pull off from the 5th fret to the 6th fret, 5th, 3rd fret on the B string. And then we anticipate the A bass note, and then we do a couple little double stops here. So that is B and D, just kind of sliding up and down 1 fret. And then going up to that A triad. We have the A bass note, we have C sharp, we have E. So, the entire intro, nice and slow. The tab actually reads I'm not playing the bass note twice, I'm just going, which is probably what I did. Moving on to the A section now. Now the A section is pretty long. It goes from bar 5 all the way to bar 22. And it sounds like this. And the reason this song is called Flow is because all these notes just flow into one another. That's kind of the really design of the piece. And like I said, there's that melody. Which is pretty simple and quite pretty, and becomes something more complex once the chords change underneath it. So that's really kind of what's going on here. So let's break this down first from bar 5. And like I said, if you follow the chord shapes, that's probably the easiest way to kind of find some anchor points working through this section, which is quite long and quite tricky. So we start off with a D chord here. It's a D5 chord, pinky up there on the 5th fret. And the melody is going to be played on that high E string. So we slide from the pinky up, the 7th fret, back down to the 5th fret, and then we come to this chord, which is an A with a C sharp in the bass. And this chord is pretty difficult to hold for a long period of time because we are making a bar there. You want to make sure your guitar is nice and easy to play when you play this type of a chord. And it goes by pretty quickly in the song, so you don't need to hold it uncomfortably for too long. But all I'm doing with the right hand is just going, I'm going thumb, thumb, first finger, second finger, which is a similar pattern that I do throughout this chord progression. But on that first chord, I'm just playing thumb, index, middle, ring. And then on this A chord with the C sharp in the bass, I guess on the tab I'm actually doing something slightly different than I just told you. I'm going 4, 2, 4, 2. Anyway, small details like that are not the ones I fret over personally. I guess that's probably correct. It's difficult to break songs down sometimes because you kind of play them differently slowly than you do at tempo. So after that A with the C sharp in the bass, we go to a B minor chord. And basically the melody is... the melody's up there on the high E. We're just walking up that B minor chord. And then we go... So that is kind of a B minor with an A in the bass. The main thing is to get that melody with the A bass note going on. So those are the first 2 bars of the A section. Just talk about the right hand a little more. I'm going thumb, index, middle, ring. And then I'm going thumb, thumb, middle and ring. And then thumb, thumb. And then I'm going to the A and the D string. I played with the thumb and the high strings. I played with the middle and ring finger. My general rule of thumb is to play the index finger on the G string, the middle finger on the B string, and the ring finger on the high E string. That's kind of my go-to starting position. I break that rule a lot, but it's what I'm doing for the most part in these few bars at least. So then we go to G chord, and we go like this, bar 7. Okay. So it's 2, or C sharp, D, C, B. And then we're playing basically a D chord with an F sharp in the bass. And the melody is there. And then we bring the pinky down here and do a pull off from the 4th fret of the D string, 2nd fret, to the open. So those two bars, well, that bar is, and with the thumb, on right hand thumb, I'm trying to go in. Real slow. As you'll see in this bar, which is bar 8, the thumb is playing A, B flat. That's the melody. And really I'm just sliding up there from the 6th fret to the 7th fret. So it's a slide, bass note, high E, and then to a B minor 7. Okay, so bar 7 and 8. Then we're up to a B minor. And then, like I said, we're playing the same melody on top, changing the chords. So I'm using the thumb to play that low B note, 7th fret of the low E string. I should say this song is quite repetitive, so once you learn this main section, you got most of it down. And then we go to an F sharp minor 7. Play a very similar phrase than we did on the A with the C sharp in the bass. We have F sharp in the bass. See how different they are? And then we go to an E minor, which is voiced like that. It's an E minor 9, there's the 9. Open E, and then we have 4th fret of the G string, of the D string, I'm sorry, 4th fret. Open G, 3rd fret of the B string. Open, hammer on 2nd fret. And then I play this chord, which is quite confusing. It's like an F sharp, kind of like an F sharp with a, what is that, with a D in it. Great chord. So that's what the melody's doing. F sharp to G. Then we go to B minor. And we go. So it's a really kind of beautiful B minor 9 with a G in there as well. Spooky kind of chord. And then we're basically playing an A suspended 4 with an F sharp in the bass. We're creating these crazy chords not because I'm playing crazy chords, just because I have a bass note over that melody, which creates all the beautiful harmony. And then so we go play that little 2-bar phrase, which is kind of Irishy, I guess. It's just going, so 2nd fret, 4th fret, open G. So it's pulling off from the 4th fret to the 2nd fret, and then 4th fret of the A string, open D. So from bar 9 through bar 12, it goes. To a G. So let me play the entire A section through thus far with a nice low tempo. Something like that. Hopefully that was clear enough for you. Then we go to this G add 9 chord. This section's a little bit easier, honestly. So really that's like a D chord with a G in the bass. So we don't really play that F sharp note. The melody is, and we just play that rolling. Repeat the same thing over a D with an F sharp in the bass. And then we slide from the 1st fret to the 2nd fret of the high E string. And then we go to an F6. Bass is just going down, G, F sharp. And I'm really just trying to play that melody. And I do have that open G string ringing out, as well as that 3rd fret on the 4th string, open G, and then D and G. And then I do this little 3/4 bar. Which basically just goes from F major 7, it's actually F major 9, and then I do a C major 9, using those harmonics. So I'm just playing the C 8th fret bass note on the low E string, and then I'm using my pinky to play the D, G, B, and E strings as a harmonic. The tab just says I'm playing 8, 12, 12. But what I'm really doing is going 8, 10, 9, 8, and then 8, D, and then I'm playing those 3 top harmonics, G, B, and E, as a cluster. And then you basically repeat the same thing down a fret, so down an E flat 9. Then I play a B flat major 7 there, which is a bit of a stretch, a bit of a handful. It's 7th fret, and then 8th fret on the D string. I'm sorry, 6th fret on the low E string, and then 8th fret on the D string, and then the pinky barred on the 10th fret of the G, B, and E string. And then I go I think that's what I'm doing. Open A, and then 9, 7, 10, 10. And then I just go one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bunch of 8th notes on those harmonics. So it's and then we repeat a few bars. So let me just brush over bars 13 through bar 17. Okay, and then we just repeat. This is all the same. All the same. And then we do this bar. So all those notes are flowing together. So let's look at bar 21 and 22. So we've already done that bar in bar 12. But we continue it down on the G bass note. So we're hammering on 2nd to 4th fret, and then open, and then 2nd fret open on the D string. Back down, 4, 2, 0, and then we go open E, and we walk up that scale, D major scale basically, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, and then we just slide into an F sharp chord to create some nice suspense. F sharp 7 because we got that high E ringing out. And that's the main section. It's all easy from here. So next we're going to break down the B section. Let's jump into that now. Okay, the B section sounds like this. As you hear, it's very repetitive. It's a catchy little set of chords. It really just goes from B minor to a G. Melody's just going. To an A at the end there. So we have that B minor shape, and then the bass note goes B, G, A, B, A, G. And if you look at the tab, you see where all those notes fall. Ending on an A for that phrase, and that just repeats 4 times basically. Instead of going to the A the second time, we go to a D with an A in the bass. Then we repeat again. To an A again. And then we finish this time with a D and a G in the bass. So a bit of suspension there. So I'm going to play that section through just real slowly so you can see all the nuances of what I'm doing. The important thing is to get that melody to be really clear as well as the bass line. You can do a backbeat there if you want on the 1, 2, 3, 4. You just let your palm fall on the strings. There we have it. That's the B section. From there, we go back to the A section and we repeat it from bars 31 all the way through 48. And then we repeat that same B section again for bars 49 through to 56. And then we go to the C section. And the C section is a slight departure. It just goes like this. Repeats that again. And then we repeat the intro. So that C section just goes from B minor to a C major 7. And the thumb on the left hand is playing that 7th fret bass note, while the pinky up top goes and leads from that B minor chord to that C major 7 chord, which is 8, skip the A string, and then 9, 9, 8. And the thumb is kind of doing a boom chick 6/4 pattern with the right hand. So it goes basically that, but we're using open strings. We're doing D, B, A, F sharp, G, and then G, F sharp, E, B, D, B. I think. Repeats that. And then we go so we go on C major to a B minor. We just repeat that. We just repeat that a bunch of times until we get to this section. We hang on that C major. And then we change the bass note to A. And we just resolve there. And repeat the intro. So that C section nice and slowly. Then we repeat the intro. We repeat part of the A section. And we finish off with that phrase that goes... But instead of going... we go... So there you have it. That's Flow. I played it in concert last week up in Rochester, New York, and I got a standing ovation when I played this piece. So it's a good performance piece. It's quite a beautiful piece of music, if I do say so myself. I did write it. I am biased. I do really enjoy playing it, and as you can hear, it's quite difficult to play, and it takes a while to learn that main A section especially. But I had a lot of requests for people who wanted to learn this piece, and I do have the tab available, which certainly will make it easier for you. If you did enjoy this lesson and you're at a place and you're playing where you can make your way through this kind of piece, I'd highly recommend checking out 2 courses that I have to offer you. One is my advanced fingerstyle course. Both courses are available at invisibletechnique.com, and the other course is my coaching community. It's actually not a course, it's a membership, but I open it a few times a year, and you can basically be coached by me. So you can submit videos of your playing. There's a large library of songs, lessons and such, and master classes, and I host monthly Zoom calls with all the members, and members can also chat with one another. It's a really cool platform, and I don't want it to grow too big, and I'd love to have you as a member if you're the kind of person who enjoys the tedious work of learning a song like this. Tedious but rewarding work. I don't like tedious work myself. Sometimes it just eats on me, but when it's a beautiful piece of music that we can perform at the end of the day, then it feels worth all the dedicated, deliberate practice. So anyway, all that being said, I wish you all the best with your playing. Thanks very much for watching. Take it easy, and cheers.